Hey, welcome today. It's 8:30, and you know what? We're on Fire Show.
December what? December 30th,
Yeah,
man. Almost
December
the end of the
30th.
year,
End of the
man.
year. End of the year show, and I'm happy to be here. End of the year.
Yeah, I missed you last week, Daryl.
Oh, okay.
I kept
Yeah.
texting you. You're
Yeah,
like,
you
oh,
kept texting me and sending all these names. You know, you get all these bad.
Of course, I'm giving shout-outs to my friends. It's that time of the year, right? Deacon, you want to give some shout-outs tonight?
All these names, and I'm looking at the names like, okay, that's some great names.
My wife, Cecilia Haynes, and Second Calvary Baptist Church.
All right. So it's the 30th, and everybody is excited about their New Year's Eve and celebrating and having some fun and relaxing with your special ones. And a lot of stuff is happening. And I want to say hi to Joe. If Joe's listening, hi Joe. And I think Joe's still in Delaware with his wife.
Well, I hope he's having an awesome time, and I hope he has an awesome New Year and exciting stuff for 2015 for all of us.
Oh yes, definitely on fire. And so usually we start off with the weekend. So Neil, you're gonna talk about how was your weekend? Now?
Oh, it was great, man. I was outside actually taking all the wood that's in my woods and got a wood splitter from a friend of mine, Fred, my chicken man, Fred. Love Fred, man.
You're gonna have Fred on. Hey,
yeah,
Fred,
I keep telling him, man. I keep telling Fred to call in. So his buddies are starting to listen, and hopefully more people are listening. But yeah, I was wood splitting on Saturday. Sunday, of course, family did some fun things with the kids and the wife. I feel like we're running around with chickens without a head. Saw my best friend from second grade today, which was awesome. I mean, my buddy Gerard, I got to give a shout out to him. He is expecting his third, which is a blessing, and it's a boy, which I was so excited to hear. Because, of course, he's got a story behind that with having older sisters, and he's the youngest son, or the only son of the family. So he's pretty excited about that. Saw his wife and two beautiful daughters today. And, of course, my kids are sports, baseball. One of them's playing for Gallagher Baseball out of Hamilton. Pretty excited for him on that. My little one's playing for Millstone Magic, I think. We're waiting to see when the season's starting on that. And I feel like I'm running around. I got wrestling practice going on right now for the young kids in our town. We have our first tournament coming up this Saturday down in Seneca, New Jersey. Pretty excited about that. A lot of cool.
Aren't you the super soccer dad?
I'm a wrestling dad. Wrestling dad, man. Wrestling. I helped the Millstone Wrestling program out, and we have great kids, and we're excited about this Saturday. Wish them all the best of luck. And, of course, Happy New Year to you all.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Deacon Haynes, how was your weekend?
Really good. We had a pretty good weekend. We buried our chairman of our deacon board this weekend, and plus, I spent time with my wife, who was under the weather, and with the family, getting Christmas together. And we had a pretty good time. All is well.
Mm-hmm.
All those who were sick, we prayed, and just had a real good weekend. God has blessed us.
Oh yeah, and my weekend was probably.
How was yours, Daryl?
I chilled at Mom's and watching football and eating sweet potato pie, and watching movies and ordering movies online. And it was pretty good. Just sitting in the room, relaxing, watching football.
Yeah, I haven't watched football in a long time, man.
Yeah,
I feel like it goes by every week, and I'm like, where is that Sunday?
Yeah, where's that Sunday? I totally forget sometimes, what I did for the weekend, and it's terrible. Is that a sign of old age?
No, it's that you're enjoying life.
Oh,
and
okay.
You're
I
not
just forget about things.
You're enjoying the moment, and then the moment passes, and you move forward.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm getting 9 eggs, boys. 9 eggs a day.
9 eggs a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got green colored eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Brown colored eggs.
Brown colored eggs.
So I'm pretty excited about my eggs coming out. So my boys are going to start their business. They're going to distribute eggs soon.
Distribute eggs. Wow.
Yeah. I took some pictures of my neighbor's hens.
Yeah?
Not hens, but chickens, I guess.
Really?
But I left my camera home tonight because I wasn't sure I was coming over.
Oh, really?
But I wanted to, next time I come down, I'm going to have them because they come out on the walkway and they just lit up the yard. I mean, all kinds of roosters.
Yeah.
Speckled one, big red.
Oh, I got videos like that also. I'm proud of my chickens, man.
Every time I drive out the driveway now, I think about it, but they're out there walking across the walkway. It's neat.
Oh, here's the funny thing. So, of course, my kids had friends over, and their grandfather was over. Grandpa Jim. Great dude. He is like laid back, and of course he sees the chickens coming to the road now. My Grandpa Jim's from the farming countries of Michigan, so he grew up farming. So he grew up with chickens and everything. So he sees the chickens getting to the road, and he's like, no, they can't get to the road. Because, of course, if they get to the road, then they can take off. And, of course, I think he's just busted my balls. Oh, he keeps busting my balls on stuff like this because he knows I don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first time I met Grandpa Jim was when I was told they live in Michigan. I thought they had outhouses behind their house because I thought that's how they lived out there.
Oh, yeah.
Just making a joke. So they, of course, set up the whole gag of having the aunt and uncle come over the following day wearing the farmer's suspenders, straw hat, the belt made up from a rope, and it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my chicken. So I'm like, watch this, Grandpa Jim. So I lift my hands up to my mouth and start singing a song. But of course, I'm the Pied Piper, and of course I start singing, and my girls, all my chickens come running towards me, and they get right behind me and they follow me right to their hen house. And my kids are like, dude, how'd you do that? I'm like, it's magic, man. It's magic. Just.
Oh, wow.
So.
One of the things in the news this past few days is Jeb Bush. And Jeb Bush is he's the front runner. And,
front runner?
Yeah, Jeb Bush right now is the front runner. And it's kind of one of the interesting things and how, it was on, if you watch CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, they say, yeah, Jeb Bush he's the front runner. And I remember, they talked about his father and his brother, and talking about a great dynasty of a family.
Oh my God!
People running for president.
I might have to go to the bathroom now and throw up. I'm getting sick in here, guys.
Is the Bush?
Here in the Bush dynasty.
Is the Bush dynasty bigger? It has to be better than head of the Kennedy dynasty. What do you think?
Better?
On another level. I mean, it's the Kennedys was a great political dynasty, a family. Now you have a father president and then a son president, and if Jeb Bush decides to, he's probably going to run for president. I mean, can you imagine a father and two sons president?
At this point, anything's possible. Anything's possible. You see how this government acts?
Yeah.
It's like they're out of control.
Yeah.
So I'd say anything's possible these days.
And they talk about Bush-Clinton election, and that's one of the strange things because, Clinton beat Father Bush. Bill Clinton beat Father Bush, and now his wife is probably going to get the nomination. They're not sure yet, but, pretty much she's the front runner. And Jeb Bush is probably the front runner. They talked about Jeb Bush. They talked about different individuals who's probably going to be running for president. Ted Cruz. And a few other ones who's probably going to run. Huckabee, and what's the Ron Paul's son, Rand Paul?
Rand Paul's going to run.
Paul,
yeah, that's what he's saying. Governor Christie, right?
Governor
that's what
Christie.
they say.
He was,
Let's throw them all out there,
second,
boys and girls. Let's see what
place.
comes back.
Yeah, Christie. Who else is going to be running for president?
What do they say when you throw someone against the wall and it sticks, or is there something like that?
What's the guy from?
What's Deacon or
governors?
No? So it's just.
What's the governor is going to run for president?
Who knows?
I can't think of what was that? What was that area of the state where they tried to recalling? They tried to recall the governor.
That was Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
yeah. Governor. What the hell is his name?
I can't think of his name right now, but he's Bobby Jindal. Yeah, Bobby from the GOP.
Well, as we get into the show, of course, there is a chat room, guys, that I want to send you to. If you're listening, please join the chat room. Go to hamiltonradio.net and click on HR chat room. We'd love to have you join the conversation. You guys can chat amongst yourselves when you hear a topic. We keep watch of the chat room, so we'd love to hear what you have to say. If you like the show, if you don't like the show, then we're doing something right, apparently. But in a good way, if it's making you nuts.
Dr. Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
Oh,
all right.
It's a wide range of political strongholds, and one of the things that we talk about our great state of New Jersey, Christie. I just don't see Christie. I just see him as probably a vice presidential candidate if Bush wins the GOP. Christie basically has no chance, especially in the South.
No, he won't. He wouldn't win across the United States.
No.
I mean, if you've watched the Sopranos, I mean, he kind of has that attitude, and I don't think people across the country like that.
No,
I
they
think
don't.
I think it's a Jersey thing.
Jersey thing.
I mean, you grow up accepting that that's the norm, and but at the same time, I don't think the country would accept it.
And,
So-
and you know, one of the things about, but if you look at Jeb Bush, who's a progressive, and Christie's a progressive, you know, that possibly Bush's VP candidate.
I mean, I think all of them just want big government.
Yeah,
All of them.
yeah.
I mean, Rand Paul so far has disappointed me in certain things, but
What has
he's-
Rand Paul disappointed you?
just there was certain things he pushed, which of course is
Which one?
Which specific ones?
How's he different from his father?
He's slightly different. He's playing the game. I
Yeah.
mean, he's trying to get into the Republican Party as one of the boys.
Yeah.
I think but I don't think Dr. Paul was one of the boys. I think he was the individual that stood to the side, and everyone just kept pushing him to sides. And there were many people like, I want him to be part of my group. Like, but those weren't the boys down in Washington. I mean, Dr. Paul's people are the ones that are home just enjoying life and not worrying about what this government's doing.
So do you think there's something wrong with playing the game?
From
mean,
a-
eventually, I mean, because you know, when you look on the national news, I mean, everybody when they talk about Rand Paul, they see the positive in him when he talks about felons can have the right to vote and some certain other things that he's pushing.
Yeah, but I mean, I look back to that show, John Adams, that I
Yeah.
watched, and I kind of get the feeling like at that point in time, it was not about playing a game for freedom. It was serious business.
Yeah,
And
but
as much as some people were like, we want England to like rule us, and we think we need to stay with them, and the other guys were like, look, we just want freedom. We want this government that's unheard of.
So do you think that Rand Paul is? I know Ron Paul is his father, and do you think that Rand Paul is the more the final touch, as I say, the one? He's
Look,
been,
if he-
he's
if
been shined and
if-
he's ready.
If he makes it,
if
it'll
he
be
makes it.
awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, it's an exhausting process, boys and girls. Like,
Yeah.
I was involved with Jersey's with Dr. Paul, helping him get situated, meaning being on the ballot, doing all the legwork behind the scenes, which a lot of people are not aware of. And it's exhausting. By the time you're done, I mean, you're spent. I mean, where you just don't want anything to do with politics. Like Gigi Bowman, who called in, you could tell, man, she was done. She was fried. She was ready to be eaten. I mean, she was done, and you could hear it in her voice. So with Rand Paul, if he makes it to the top, great. I mean, I will support him. He's probably going to be the best of all worlds, but still not the person that truly believes in the. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he runs and sticks it to the Republican primary, and gets the let's see. So he wins some of the states.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see at the Republican Party convention what rules get changed to stop him from getting in.
Because they changed the rule for
They,
Ron Paul.
oh, they totally did. I mean, they did a rule change and implemented it immediately, and that stopped Ron Paul from even being on the ballot for the Republican Party to vote on.
So you think there'll be some shenanigans that'll take place, possibly for Rand Paul?
I mean, if I saw it happen again, as I said, nothing surprises me these days. Business as usual.
You know, one of the things that people are talking about is that when you look at the conservatism, Jeb Bush is not a conservative, and to win those states like Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida.
But when you say conservative, which conservative part is it? Is it the religious conservative?
Well, yeah, I know you have the fiscal
or the fiscal conservative.
The religious conservatives in the South.
Okay.
That basically didn't support Mitt Romney, and
because he was
Mormon. Mormon is, and also he was, when you look at the Obama, the whole thing with the health care. Obamacare is basically the same thing as Romney care, same thing.
Sure.
And so they looked at that, and that's one of the reasons why they didn't really view him as a conservative. And so even talking about Romney coming back and trying for the nomination again. And
it's like, what's it? Either we're too stupid or we're insane. Which one, Deacon?
Well, when you look at
which one?
That's a choice of man.
Well, when you look at even he's coming back for a third time, and I think Reagan was a three-time Yeah, Reagan lost it, twice and won it once. Yeah.
Sure. Abe Lincoln also, I think, never won one race he ran in except for the presidency. If I think it's, I want to give a shout out to a guy, Warren Wilson. You know the pretzels that are flat?
Yeah.
He made these, and of course I met him way before the pretzel flattening happened. And this guy Warren invented the funnel cake batter, like not the batter or just the way you pour it.
Oh, okay.
And he went to the boardwalks and that's how he started his career. And in one of his office, and it was probably the copying room, was the story of the one president that ran for local office, lost, ran for governor, lost, ran for this, like almost like Lonergan, right? Sounds like Lonergan actually, running and losing and losing and losing. And hopefully in the long run, I mean, I'm not saying I want Lonergan to run for president, but I mean, eventually you win. I mean,
yeah, eventually
you find your way into this mess.
Yeah, you keep trying and you're winning, and that's how it is. And when they're looking, one of the things that I was watching today on television, I think I watched Elizabeth Warren speak. She was speaking today, and she was on C-SPAN, and then they had, I think it was a 2014 session with Mitt Romney and his vice presidential candidate, Congressman. I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
He's a congressman that ran with Mitt Romney.
Who was
He
the vice presidential candidate
vice
for Romney?
Yeah, I can't think of his name by now. Someone called, but they both was on television.
I mean, I'm glad I'm forgetting all this stuff. I'm trying to erase it out of my mind. It was so sad.
They both were on television, and they talked about it. And then I saw Elizabeth Warren, and I said Elizabeth Warren is the far left, of Hillary. And the reason when they talk about politics and around the country, and when they look at Obama. And that when Obama ran, the far left, that's the same ones that supported Elizabeth Warren. The same ones that supported Obama may support Elizabeth Warren because, as you know, the far left didn't support the war, and Hillary supported the war. Hillary supported the war, and that's one of the reasons.
Paul Ryan?
Paul Ryan, right?
Paul Ryan,
yeah. And, one of the things about the left, because they supported Obama because Hillary, and Hillary supported the war. So right now, they're talking about Elizabeth Warren possibly running against Hillary in the Democratic convention. So it's one of the strangest things. We all thought that Hillary was going to be president, and she had a clean shot, and here came Obama.
Yeah, but.
It's
an interesting game, right?
Oh yeah, and it's one of the things is that we're looking at the politics, and even Ben Carson. Who would think that Ben Carson would he's definitely going to run for president.
Well, he came out of the woodworks, right? He did that speech with Obama. He kind of bashed Obama right in front of Obama.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty impressive, and then he became a name sensation.
But I've seen him speak, and he's like Mike Tyson, in his voice. And one of the things about that is you have to be entertaining, you got to be joyful, you gotta have that charisma, and he just doesn't have it. That charisma that's not entertaining enough to watch, and he's not a typical politician.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, the job is to preside over a government to make sure that they limit their role to what's defined within Article 1, Section 8, that says, like, here are your roles. Very simple. Like, make sure the measurements that if the gas stations are supposed to give you a gallon, that the gallon is coming out as a gallon. I mean, those are proper functions to make sure the measurements are correct, to make sure that if someone's trying to invade us from outside or even inside, that they say, hey, the philosophy of America is freedom, and it should be kept that way. But I think they all have fallen off that wagon. And
so what happens when, it's, when Obama, that change we can believe in, and yes, we can, and you have all these people that are running for office,
It's just a mind game.
What happens to them when they talk about doing some great things, and they get all excited, and people get excited for supporting them, and, what happens to them when they get in office? Do they feel like, when they go into to the White House and they say, oh my God, all this, and they get all these generals and all these individuals that are head of different departments.
Pushing their agendas, right?
Yeah, pushing the agenda.
I mean, you have to stick to the...
It would be overwhelming as president.
Al, I think at that point when you walk in as president that
Mm-hmm.
you have such breath in your step and everything in life that nothing, like you feel you're on top of the world. So everyone walking into you is somewhat subservient to you.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of, or your comfort level to speak to a general is just like, hey, bro, what's up? Like, let's have a good conversation. Not
Yeah.
like, oh, my God, like this is a general that can pull a weapon out and kill people 500 different ways.
Yeah.
And so I think you get to that point where your comfort level amongst others becomes very relaxed, and you know that you can command the show and people want to hear what you have to say. I mean, Obama had a talent for that, that people wanted to hear what he had to say, and then it's worn off. I mean,
Yeah.
it's finally worn off on a lot of people.
Well, you got the gas prices down.
Well, that was gonna naturally happen,
that was
man.
gonna happen anyway.
That's all
Yeah.
like economic theory.
Economic theory.
That the Keynesian philosophy is there's a bust happening on the gassing pricing, and there's reason behind it.
And that's happening all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I'm sure
if
Putin's not happy.
if prices stayed the way they were, then more people would be either committing suicide because they can't afford the food on their table. They wouldn't be able to get to work. Businesses wouldn't be able to hire more people. It's a game. One thing has to come down for something else to rise.
Yeah.
And they realize that it's like the tweaking of Dan here. Dan does the sound here, and Dan just tweaks to improve our quality, or he tweaks it a little bit, or he might be like, this is just right for that sound. And it's the same thing. Like that gas pricing had to come down economically speaking. So I mean, look at New Jersey. The minimum wage is going up now. So if gas prices are going up, as the same time paying your employees more, it would be hard for companies to afford all that stuff. So some things have to break. I think the school pricing is going to come down in the future. I think education is going to be another bubble.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that in the next segment. We talk about education through the high schools, because I was reading something and it said that especially the Trenton High School school board, and I want to talk about your school board in the area, Trenton High,
Sure.
and the whole Trenton school district is a D plus.
Really.
D plus. So I want to talk about that.
And if people want to call in,
yeah, people want to give us a call. You can give us a call at 609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003. This is OnFire Show, and you're here with myself, Darryl McKell Brooks, and Neil Slash, and Deacon Haynes is here with us today. And we're going to talk about that, the educational system, and and also the college educational system, and the possibly, the problems with that, with the spending and the cost for college. It's terrible. It's terrible. We'll be right back. This is On Fire Show.
Call Andrew Martino, Farmers Insurance, for all your insurance needs. Mr. Martino will give you the professionalism you expect from an experienced insurance agency. With Farmers Insurance, you will get the maximum coverage at competitive pricing. For a quick quote, contact Andrew Martino at 609-256-3364. 609-256-3364. Email Andrew at andrew.albright@farmersagency.com. That's ANDREW.ALBRIGHT@farmersagency.com. And Facebook, Andrew at Andrew Martino of Farmers. That's ANDREWMARTINO of Farmers. Mention this ad to Andrew to let him know you heard this right here on HamiltonRadio.net.
Hamilton Radio, the 60s, the 70s,
I keep on thinking about you, sister golden hair so bright.
the 80s, and a lot more. All come alive here every weekend on Hamilton Radio.
Hey, once again, you're back with the On Fire Show, and it's all good. We have some technical difficulties, but we're online right now. Everything's working all right. So what's going on, Neil?
nothing much, man. So we will be playing this recording back right on our on-demand channel, which we have.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we
anyone
got a
that,
YouTube channel, too?
we have a YouTube channel. We have a Facebook page. Do we have a Twitter account?
Yeah.
We do. What's the Twitter? At OnFireNN?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
We got a lot of stuff going on.
And all you got to do is go to OnFire News Network and .com, OnFireNN.com. You can go to see the website and go to the Facebook and Twitter.
Buy a mug, right?
And buy a mug, definitely. One of the things I definitely wanted to talk about is what's happening in our educational system. And, I was looking online, and they had the thing, they had the test scores and the top schools in New Jersey. And I noticed when I went to the Trenton school system, it was they rate them by, from A all the way to D plus.
Right.
And the Trenton high school system was a D plus.
Do you think they'd tailor the tests to be easier for other areas, or what do you think the reason is?
What they had on there, the problems was they had, the school administrators got a D.
The school administrators got
a D too, yeah. And
they took the test also?
No. It's according. It's not just the administrators. It's just they look at the whole system.
No, I'm just making a joke. We should test our teachers.
Yeah, they should.
We should have them take the test also and see how they score.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Or forget about the teachers. Let's start with the administrators of the school system. We should test them first. If they don't do well, then and the teachers do better than them, then we can have the teachers decide if the administrators keep their jobs or not.
How do you teach them, right?
They do. I mean, they have that's the business end of the model, right?
Teachers need something, administrators are results.
No. D is definitely not. I mean, I would hope to see it improve, but again, someone has to come in with the F and someone has to come with the A.
Yeah.
When it comes to the scale.
And when you look at it, how could kids learn? I mean, it talked about the proficiency rate, and it was very low for math and English.
Right.
And I think everything was under. I mean, even the dropout rate was like 50%.
Right.
Well, we have a comment from the chat room, and if you're listening and want to join the chat room, please join us at hamiltonradio.net. Click on the chat room, and you can come in as a guest. And I think if you register, you could show up your name on the chat room. So please join us. Of course, the statement was abolish the National Education Association at the federal level and let the states run it as they should. What do you think about that, boys?
Well, I believe Ron Paul talked about that.
Abolishing the federal roles.
Yeah, and Ron Paul talked about it. Newt Gingrich talked about that too.
Well, I think Dr. Paul talked about it in the true sense of what the Constitution says, which is nowhere in the Constitution, nowhere, it says the role that the federal government has to have is on education. Right. I mean, the federal role is a limited role, the way I see it, and they're defined under Article 1, Section 8. And anything not listed in those roles are not the federal government's role.
And, one of the things I was looking at a Newt Gingrich interview, and he talked about the bureaucracy in the federal, government. When it comes to deal with education, the money that's been spent could easily go to children in the state schools. And, he's definitely right. The money, they're spending millions and millions of dollars on a federal level.
Well, they create the money. Yeah. They either create the money first or steal it from the people to then circulate it back. It's like
taking bureaucracy.
Taken from Paul to pay Peter.
Yeah, and you have people in positions they're there just to get paid, and they're just to pass along paperwork.
I've seen that in the IRS. So but the IRS is definitely paying for it right now. I mean, the budget's being slashed. The response time is terrible. It's like if you send a letter to the IRS, they generally will send you back your first letter saying, please allow us 6 to 8 weeks to process, and then you'll hear back from us. Right. And I know they need to send that piece of paper because if they don't, then the next step is you could turn around and default them, which is a process in law.
Yeah.
But many people don't know that process. So it's one that as you become more aware of the procedures in law, you can turn around and default a state, you could default a local municipality, you could default the federal government. I mean, that is a legal process, which I've used and seen some success in. But like I said, it's not the federal government's role in education. Just to get back to on topic.
Oh yeah, definitely. And one of the things is that when you see these school ratings, and when you look at Camden, you look at Newark. I mean, Camden was I think a D, and Trenton High and the Trenton school system was a D plus, and when you looked at Newark was like a C minus.
Right.
And the idea of how could kids learn in that environment? I mean, and want to take it to the next level.
Well, I mean,
You can't.
what was it? What was the movie? Who was the
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me?
Mhm.
I mean,
Samuel, no, not Samuel L. Jackson. Who was the other guy? The one who he doesn't. I can't think of his name.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
basically inspiring. I mean,
Mhm.
if the kids aren't inspired to learn or grow from
Mhm.
the teachers, I mean, that could be a part of it. I don't know. I mean, you could throw out different theories on this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, when you look at in the city areas, you can look at the environment, and you look at what happens in the environment. If you look at maybe, the time when I graduated from school, I guess from '87, things were totally different. We could actually learn and how the school system was basically falling apart. And I guess in the '90s and in this 2000 area, and when you look at that, how Trenton High was at one time was one of the top rated schools in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I can
And
recall,
now it's a D plus.
if I can recall what Dr. Paul talked about, which was that because of the drug wars, I mean, there's a lot of inner city fathers being put in jails, so the parents aren't there to support their kids and kind of educate them. And if their parents aren't around, which is probably the most influential thing on kids, then you'll see a lack of success in the school systems. So I think Dr. Paul talked about that. Like, just that was one reason.
One of the things you just talked about is that what happens when a parent goes to jail, there is no agency that picks up the support or the front line for these children. What happens to the children when the parents are locked up? And what happens is that when you incarcerate the parent, you leave the child alone to take care of himself. So there is one of the things that we need to be involved in is making sure that these children of incarcerated people, they have their education to be able to continue and not to be slack because of the sins of the father.
And one of the things is that when you look at that, it's a shame because you have some great kids out there who probably want to learn, and it's the learning factor that they can't learn in an environment. Even when you look at the school system, you look at home in the areas of maybe now father is locked up, mother is locked up, mother may be on drugs, and one of the shows I was looking at today on HBO is The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about the whole gang and drug lord war in Baltimore in the early '90s.
Right.
And and this one guy had all these kids in his room, and these kids could not pass the test, the federal and state test. They just definitely could not pass it. And so they talk about different ways of how do we educate our children, how to educate the kids in Baltimore. And, it was a shame because a lot of these kids, and we see that in the inner city today, and it's like a lot of these kids, their parents are all messed up. They're not eating well. Their hygiene is not good. And so when you look at that in these areas, you wonder about the policies that are taking place around the state and federal policies that allow this to happen. This thing just didn't happen overnight, and it's, something has to give. And I don't know. It's I guess what are the founding fathers talking about? If this country isn't helping the people, then it should be abolished and starting over again.
From a government agency standpoint. Yeah, but remember, the idea, the overall idea of what they wanted was a free society that the local community took care of the local people. It wasn't like that the money had to be sucked away from you to be sent to Washington, D.C., so that you could see these beautiful monuments that, of course, cost tons and tons of money and probably cost tons and tons of money because the contractors.
Billions of dollars.
Billions, trillions. I mean, what is it, 1.1 trillion Obama just asked for? I mean, but again, it's like if you can keep your money locally, and I don't mean if you want to spend where you want. I don't care. It's not. But when I say locally, it's like wherever you are. If your feet go on a vacation somewhere, that's your local region for that moment in time. So enjoy that moment. Spend the money there if you want. But again, when these agencies try to keep grabbing into your pockets and taking it from you to do what they want. I don't think I think that's so unfair. I mean, I think, and of course, it's against the law of what this Constitution was meant to be, was to bring everything back locally, get everyone to live and enjoy their lives. But as everyone knows, as soon as government has a taste of power, they want to grab more and get to a point where they've taken all of it away. Because more power, I mean, people love that when you're there.
Yeah, and it's sad because the more this country gets more powerful, the more you see the falling down of America, and you see the inner city areas, even the suburbs. If you go into Camden, you see suburban areas, suburban people going into Camden who are both white and black on drugs. I mean, you see it in that area. People in Woodbury, Clemington, Deptford.
Right.
They all come into Camden. These are
pharmaceutical drugs, or just
they're high on heroin, and these are
heroin.
Yeah, and these are middle class or working middle class white kids who are coming to Camden and buying heroin and having overdose, all drugged up. And you never seen that. It wasn't like that in the 90s. And you look at it, there was, I guess 5 or 6 years ago, it really hit Camden when you had people that coming from the suburbs into the inner city just buying heroin. And in the river, if you have been on the river line, a lot of people who are in those suburban towns going into the city of Camden and just on drugs. And you got the people that are selling drugs or on drugs, and you got them at ages of, you got it at ages of 13 or 14 years old.
Oh, yeah.
On drugs, on heroin.
On heroin.
Or meth. And then you also have these young girls, in Camden, when I look, selling themselves at 13, 14 years old, selling their bodies for, trying to get paid. They're not happy at home. They're leaving home, and they're going to their best friend's house, living with their friends and doing whatever. And you see it like somewhat of a mad society, and you see a mad society, and it shows us the breakdown of this country. And something has to be done. I mean, where they talked about the shootings, the 2 cops were assassinated in New York a week and a half ago, I think.
Right.
And then you look what happened in L.A. There were 2 cops.
2 attempts.
2 attempts on 2 cops' lives.
Right,
And you look what happened in Florida. Florida officer I think he was either got shot or killed in Florida. And so, you're seeing a society that's, one instance that are probably fed up and who are pissed and who are angry. And
Well, it's called blowback.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Dr. Paul talked about. It's called blowback. I mean, it's the concept that when finally you have enough, you're gonna fight back.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sad to see someone lose their lives. Doesn't matter if they're a police officer, if they're anyone. I mean, losing someone's a life. I mean, I go back to the time I lost my mom to cancer, and it's the worst thing for someone to lose a parent, to lose a son, to lose a daughter, to lose anyone in their family. I mean, death is, of course, and I'll say this, like, I'm white, so I had the chance of going to a black funeral when I was young. Unfortunately, a friend of mine got killed trying to get on a train in Metuchen. He was a wrestler friend of mine. And I got to say, like, at the funeral, like, it was celebrating life. Like, it was the most energetic thing I've ever seen. And I don't know if this is just a cultural thing or something, but I was like, dude, this is like when you're dead, they celebrate. Like,
we don't celebrate death. We celebrate life. You know what I mean? So
right. I mean, it was definitely different than what I've seen in other.
Did you catch the Holy Ghost?
The what?
The Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost.
I don't know what that is. So, but if you can explain it to me, that'd be good.
It's when the Spirit gets into you.
Yeah.
The Spirit of God.
Oh, where you dance?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was like I walked out of there. I'm like, was I just at a funeral?
Right.
Like, because this is not the funeral I'm used to.
No.
It was in New Brunswick. It was at is a Baptist church,
And
I
that's
think.
what happens, in life,
Yeah. So
we celebrate death, and we try to remember what you did, and not what you are now. We know that you're going someplace better. It's a belief. in the face.
Sure. No, like I said, I walked out of there. I was like, wow, this is a different experience I've had. And, I mean, when my wife and I talk about religion, it's like I could be Tao, I could be Buddhist, I could be a monk, I could be. There's so many theologies out there to think about.
You're Jewish, right?
And by birth, I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents were Jewish, so I got raised Jewish, had a bar mitzvah, and
Did he ever
at the
catch
same
the
time,
Holy Ghost in,
no, religion never just sat. I mean, religion was like I appreciated all my friends, didn't matter where they came from. So I knew freedom of religions is a big thing. Like whatever you think is great. If it's believing that Jesus Christ is the Savior, that's great. If you believe that a Buddhist monk is your savior, great. If you're Greek and the mythologies, awesome. Like, and
Hercules
they're all
and Zeus.
yeah, Hercules, Zeus. I mean, Poseidon. I mean, who could not enjoy that movie, Poseidon?
Poseidon,
Right?
It was a good movie.
So, but anyway, so a guest commented about we need a balanced budget amendment. What do you think about that, boys? A balanced budget amendment.
For the state?
For the state, guess 14058. You get
14058.
You become a number on the show.
State or federal?
Is it state or federal? Let us know, and then we'll. But at the
we'll
same time,
talk
if you
about
want to join the chat room, we keep telling people the chat room has some good guests that are now joining and making some good conversation. So join it at hamiltonradio.net. Click on chat room. And sign in.
Or give us a call at 609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003. Talk about what's on your mind. You know, one of the things that we really have to do is, the coming up for to tax day. What day is tax day? That's on what?
Tax day, April 15th,
April 15th,
always.
April 15th. And, and I think we talked about maybe I talked to Joe and some other people about maybe OnFire News Network doing a tax day rally.
Okay.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, and just so people are aware, January 20th is the day I think the IRS is going to accept returns in.
Okay.
So they don't accept it on January 1st. It might be processed then, but I think payments start going out after January 20th. I think that's what it was saying in the information I'm being provided by the New Jersey Society of CPAs. So they send updates on different things. So January 20th was the date they had said relating to filing. And I think we jokingly say, and I don't know if it's true or not, but we think refunds are going to be delayed because, of course, they have no money and the printing presses are running at full steam. And if you think I'm kidding, watch a cartoon. It's called the American Dream by the Provocateur. It's a cartoon. Your kids can watch it. The kids will enjoy it because it's a cartoon. Adults will get it because it's relating to the money system, how banking happens, how you get a mortgage.
I saw that cartoon.
It's a great cartoon, and it's a half an hour worth watching. Is
it on DVD?
It's on YouTube, man. Just Google American Dream, the American Dream by Provocateur. Or if you do the American Dream and probably hit enter, you'll see by Provocateur and watch the cartoon. It's really good. So
yeah, we're going to go into I think we're up to a station break.
Yeah, but before we do that, I got just a guest coming up, right? January 6th?
January 6th.
January 6th. Awesome guest. It's Harmon Kaslow, producer of the show, the movie Atlas Shrugged. It's a 3-part series. Very excited to have him on. Please join us. Please join the chat room that day. The following week is Frank Mara, January 13th, author From Landfill to Hallowed Ground. Great book. I just read it within a day. It was awesome. Very emotional. Talks about 9/11, and he worked the landfill where all the evidence was brought. So he had a lot of families come to the landfill to help find any remnants of their loved ones. Wow. So he has plenty of stories to talk about. And then I'm hoping past that date, a guy named Michael Tellinger. I emailed him. He's from South Africa, and he is suing, I think, the country of South Africa or his the continent. He'll explain it all. He sued the bank, Standard Bank in South Africa, and he's suing them about their money system. So it's interesting stuff coming up.
All right. Well, we want to let everybody know. Give us a call at 609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003. Check out our chat line. We're going to do a station break, but we'll be right back. This is the On Fire Show.
If you want whole foods and more natural products while making your family healthier, visit 2285475.myforevergreen.org. That's 2285475.myforevergreen.org. Do it today.
Whether you're challenged with dry, brittle, flaky skin, oily skin, or your skin is simply dull and lifeless, I've got a great skincare line for you. It's called Tazati, T-A-Z-A-T-I. At Tazati.com, you can order products online that are so pure and natural, your skin will come alive with radiance and vitality. You see, Tazati organic skincare products use deep, hydrating moisturizers with natural elements like aloe vera, olive squalene, and shea butter, rich and proven to replenish your skin, yet never greasy. Also, if you suffer from adolescent or menopause acne, you can shop online for Tazati's gentle two-step cleanser, which heals acne by balancing your pH, ultimately putting a stop to skin eruptions for a clean, clear complexion. And the popular Vanishing Elite product can be applied to your face and neck to help combat dark spots for a smooth, even complexion. Place your order today and see what a few of the many satisfied Tazati customers are saying. Go to Tazati.com.
Hi, you're back with OnFire Show. This is Darryl McHale Brooks here with Neil Slash and Deacon Jones, Clarence Haynes, and I said Deacon Jones. I was watching
Deacon Jones?
Deacon Jones,
Was
a
he
football
from
player.
San Francisco 49ers, right?
Yeah, he was a Ram.
He was a Ram.
It was Deacon Jones, the Rams. He was with the Rams. The
I mean,
LA
listen,
Rams.
I could throw out facts of sports, and probably they're always wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always appreciated the
Who
team.
did
and
Randall Cunningham play for?
Randall Cunningham. He was the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, you said about to say Phillies.
I said almost Phillies.
Phillies.
But
yeah, one of the things that we want everybody to do is give us a call. Tell us what's on your mind at 609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003. Now, tell me, as you know, are you going to Neil? Are you doing anything for the New Year's Eve?
going to a friend's house, just celebrating very locally. We've done it for probably many years now, just going locally. Of course, I mean, I would prefer everyone to be safe, plain and simple, no matter where they're going. So, but we go locally at our friend's house. I was invited to another party, so it's like it's tearing me apart to have to be able to choose one or the other. I'd rather go to both. So, I'm trying to figure that out, how to do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe magically divide myself in two and show up at two places at once.
Usually I'm at church on New Year's Eve.
Are you?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Just the Holy Ghost.
Yeah?
No, that's the thing. I mean,
Do you go at midnight?
Yeah, midnight service.
Are you a midnight service?
Yeah.
I would start at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Deacon, you got to speak into the mic so everyone hears you.
I would
Promote-
start at 10
promote.
o'clock, and at 12 o'clock we celebrate, and then we go downstairs and have a meal,
Yeah.
a dinner.
Pig feet.
Nice.
We have a dinner, all kinds of food.
You have a
You have
DJ?
pig feet?
No DJ.
No
yeah,
DJ
we,
at
yeah,
church.
yeah, they
You
have
go
pig.
to
They have
church.
pig.
What's that?
Yeah, the church. No DJ at church.
Is that not allowed?
No.
No DJs.
Sorry.
We sing.
All right.
They sing.
We
Yeah.
sing.
Do you?
Somebody gets the Holy Ghost, and then we eat pig feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
So
Pig
come on
feet,
out.
collard greens.
Get
and-
some collard greens.
Yeah.
All kinds of food.
Wow.
Heavy.
What else?
That's it.
That's it.
Collard greens?
Yeah.
Oh no! Everybody brings a dish.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
People bring-
Potluck.
Macaroni and cheese.
Nice.
Something,
Oh, yeah,
anything.
yeah,
You know
all
what I
kinds.
mean? You might
Pies,
eat
cakes.
sweet potato pie,
Yeah,
pound
yeah.
cake.
Yep.
Yeah. So you should be a Baptist.
Yeah.
Turn
You don't have to
Well,
be
no,
a
actually,
Baptist.
I
You
have-
don't have to be a
Methodist,
Baptist. Come on.
I
come
have
on
a
through.
bet going with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We try to see who loses the most weight per year. So we started about 2 or 3 years ago, where we did our own weigh-in, and he's heavier than me. So it was more of a, should it be by percentage or by pounds? Because it was a debate, because he was like, let's go with percentage. Because I think if he lost 1 pound, it's if I lost 1 pound, that's a better percentage for me.
Right.
So he wanted pounds. So of course we did the first year, and we ended up back at the same exact weight as the year before. So we carried that bet over. So I think we're doing our weigh-ins tomorrow night.
There you go.
So hopefully I will come in as victor.
Come
But
in to victory.
I think my wife's been feeding me a lot lately, so I think I put all the weight that I lost
Well,
all
you
year.
You can join it. Be a 7-day event to this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's that? You got to starve yourself for 7 days?
Golly, well, you just don't get it.
You don't get
You
it.
know, I don't know these
7-day
terms, dude.
Adventists.
I'm
You ever
not,
heard of 7-day Adventists?
no, dude, I don't
A lot
follow.
of 7-day Adventists, they're a lot of them are vegetarians,
Yeah.
Vegans.
vegans. Yeah.
Vegans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I know vegans that are. I mean, I've seen
No, I
skinny
don't- you don't know
vegans and
too
I've
many,
seen
no.
heavy vegans.
They're not Baptists. You
No?
don't see you don't
No,
see
no,
Baptist
no.
vegans.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know much about religions and foods, but cultures. But
Yeah, culture.
you have to teach me, boys.
Hey.
Yeah.
You got to invite me in.
Yeah.
So, but to get back to the balanced budget amendment question, right?
Okay.
So it's a federal one. Ronald Reagan supported, and Congress should not be. Ronald Reagan supported, and Congress should not be able to spend more than what they bring in.
Right.
Yes.
GOP has control of House and Senate, and time for them to do what they have preached about fiscal conservativeness. So we should see if the House or Congress, as they call it, that's Article 1,
Mm-hmm.
does what this guest is talking about.
Well, I'm sure, but when it comes down to this government, big government.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I think he's making a joke here. I think
Yeah, I know.
he's really saying that that's definitely not going to happen
It's
under
definitely not
GOP House. And,
Yeah. I mean, if you look
Senate?
under Bush, look how much money he spent.
yeah, I mean, the printing presses can't stop at this point.
No, they can't stop. Just keep on printing.
I mean, it's their drug. I mean,
So when do they stop printing? When is it? Is there going?
when do they stop printing?
Is there going to be a time when the printing press will be like shut down?
I think when finally people realize that the value of the dollar, period, has lost all its value.
All his value.
All right, and that's a hard thing for people to grasp. I mean, because of course, if you go to the store and buy eggs at $2 and you have $2, that you think that's value, but you could get eggs for free, like I talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so the $2 really has no value to me because I get 9 eggs a day, and I can get more. And Fred's willing to teach me how to make more. And I mean, Fred, my boy Fred, I mean, he's been teaching me so much about just living off your land, essentially.
Yeah.
Just on this simple concept.
Yeah,
So-
and one of the things you talk about, what could happen in the next few years. I mean, you look at some of the food prices right now. I mean, my God, orange juice. Orange juice, it's at least from past couple of years is up at least $1 in certain markets.
Yeah, but the fear of what I'm talking about, and just because of course in the chat room, the concern is like stuff that they've invested for forever is going to disappear, like the 401k value. I mean, there's probably going to be a reduction in your value. I mean, or it might go up these days. Keynesian economic theory it's all over the place. Like they're spiking in certain areas. If your financial broker's investing you well and diversifying you, that amount in their portfolio is going to be there. But I also think in a free society, like the exchange of your value is going to be appreciated by someone else's value, giving back. Value for value. I mean, it's funny. My kid bought Legos today. Lego box.
Yeah.
$100 for a Lego set.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get that. I'm like, I don't know what value that's worth $100
Yeah.
for these pieces. And there's a hell of a lot of pieces, boys and girls. So
Yeah, I mean, back to what I was saying is about the price. Whenever the dollar falls, there are people who can't pay, who cannot pay, or won't pay for half a gallon of milk. Can't buy half a gallon of orange juice, can't buy a dozen eggs, and and I see that's definitely going to be a problem.
right.
When and you have a younger generation coming up who basically don't know how to grow food.
Well, there's the comments coming in through this chat room, which, again, if
Yeah.
you want to join the chat room, hamiltonradio.net, click on chat room. I mean, a statement's being made that we've become too dependent on the government and are starting to not think about how we could depend on ourselves in terms of how to get food.
Well, that's the way, I think when you look at that, how do we stop depending on government, you got to look at the school system, the education system, and how the education system says, yes, depend on us. We'll take care of you. And so we have a generations coming up who really don't know how to plant, don't know how to grow food, don't know how to, don't know how to raise pigs, don't know how to raise, chicken. When I was growing up in the South, my grandmother, and she taught me how to raise things. She taught me how to grow certain things. I remember I was 15 years old, and I was in Cleveland, Ohio. And then when you're young and you're 15, you can get very creative. I grew, what was it, turnips?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I grew turnips in my uncle's backyard.
Oh,
And what was the other thing we were talking about? What we talked about earlier we had for dinner at the church.
Collard greens?
Collard greens. Yeah, I grew collard greens in Cleveland, Ohio, in my uncle's backyard. So it's, that's what, in the moment when you're young like that, you can say, okay, wow, I would like to do these things. And so you have a generation who they just don't know how or never been taught.
They've never been taught.
And they've never been taught to grow your own food. And there are people with, I've seen people in the city with big yards.
Yeah. Well, see,
big yards.
One of the things you see, too, is that what happens is that we are taught that the food automatically appears where it's going to be.
Yeah.
And what happens is that you see it once we have a major snowstorm, and if you're the last person to the store, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So, we should be preparing food, canning food, making things that we have so when those things come, we don't have to run out. People don't store things.
Yeah.
They never think about the day is going to come when it always comes.
And that's one of the things about, especially our, my foreparents, you look at them, Grandma and Uncle Joe back in Georgia, St. Mary's, Georgia, they kept food. They kept food in their house.
No.
And, they know how to grow things. And, and my uncles had pigs and chickens and things of that nature. And so people knew how, and they had big freezers, a freezer full of fish. And,
There you go.
And that's how I was in the South, especially in those areas. St. Mary's, Georgia, people knew how to grow things. They kept things in their freezer. They went fishing. They went crabbing. They went shrimping in the docks. And so they kept a lot of things, in their house. And basically they could eat. They didn't need to go to the grocery store.
Go to the grocery store.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sarah Palin, if I could bring her up in this conversation, okay, from the TV show she had where she had to go hunting to store her meat for the winter. I mean, to me, that was what I liked about her, that she understood that to survive, especially in Alaska, and I've been to Alaska a lot of times, so I understand the environment's pretty rough out there. And that's the only part where she had some good comments politically, but as far as like showing people like, hey, Alaska's tough and I have to go hunt for my food, I need to know how much food I need to have so I can feed my whole family during the wintertime, because it gets tough that you can't leave your house because it's pretty cold up there.
I doubt Sarah Palin has to go hunting for food.
She did it in the show, and trust me, she will do it. She's that type, like, that's the one part I liked about her. She understood how to handle herself in, especially in this situation with the presidential race. I mean, she did not let her guard down, and she got bashed all over.
Yeah.
So.
Very pretty girl.
Yeah. So, but it's like you said, storing up food, learning how to do that stuff is an important thing in that I don't know if many people know that now or are doing that now.
They're also selling survival food. You can get a freeze-dried.
Yeah, kits.
Survival kits where you can, underground bunkers.
Yeah, Glenn Beck has that on his show, the survival kits.
Right.
And, it's but, when you go down, I talk to my cousins down in Georgia, a lot of them, they're still growing their collard greens. They're still growing corns and peas and things of that nature. And, so there are some that definitely, certain areas are prepared and who understands that you have to live off the land.
Right.
It's only up here, when people have the problem, the thing of government is definitely going to be there for them and protect them.
Exactly.
And, we learned that in Katrina.
Right.
Government, is going to fail you every time.
Right.
It happened in Florida with Andrews and Katrina and a couple other more places, though. But, it tells you that, also shows you that government works a certain way.
Right.
They're not just going to come with something, like when the Katrina happened, they just didn't come over the next day.
Right.
But I think they waited 3-4 days
right.
before they came, and it was a shame, but you got to understand how government works. And FEMA works, and it was a shame because a lot of people lost their lives, and a lot of people was not prepared for what was happening.
Well, most people aren't prepared,
yeah.
believe me, because they're always looking for somebody else to take care of them. That's the problem we have. When you bring people into the city, they think that everything is always going to be there for them. When you live in the rural areas, you have to make do with what you have out there. You know, the trip to the store is not as easy to get to. We teach our children that all we got to do is take a plastic card and swipe it and get what we want. But they never teach them that what happens if you're the ninth person in line and they only have 8 things in the store. This is where you have chaos. Now you have people starting to riot and steal and doing all these things because now there's no food. Now everybody's fighting for the same amount of food. Hindsight, you know that you're supposed to have a certain amount of food stashed away. What happens when you run out of toilet paper? Now, you don't want to run out of toilet paper, you know.
Oh, no, you don't want to run out of toilet. You got to go start getting leaves.
Yeah, we had to do that in Alaska.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we were out in the
the
wilderness. It was just you had to use your natural resources to take care of whatever you need to do.
That's right.
So
dig a hole.
We did some crazy stuff. So
wow.
this was
I
out
imagine.
in the Aleutian Islands of Alaska.
Was it cold? Was it?
When we were there, luckily it wasn't freezing.
Oh, okay.
I was up in the Arctic actually, and luckily it was generally 50 degrees. Actually, probably 40. It snowed on July 4th.
Oh, boy.
So it was below 32 degrees. And then actually one night it got to about minus 15. And a massive windstorm came in. So I was talking to my boys from the trip. I told them they got to come down and be on and tell us about their experiences in these places. So.
Well, it's about 9:39. We want somebody else to give us a call at 609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003. This is the OnFire show. I think we're going to go into another station break. And, hey, guys, hey, crew, hey, what's going on? Are we all ready to go into a station break? Sure, absolutely. All right. We'll be right back.
You take your health seriously? Well, if you do, you need to check out HamiltonRadioNet.my94life.com. And it's spelled HamiltonRadioNet.my 90 N0 for life FOR life.com. Check it out today. Join or shop for the best products for your health. We take your health seriously here at Hamilton Radio. Do you?
Listen to the 60s.
Great music. I love it.
The 70s.
A good wholesome station for everyone to listen to.
The 80s.
A lot less talk and a lot more music.
The 90s.
Oh, this is going to be a good day.
And hits from today's artists.
Great music. I love it.
You can't get a better station than this.
Here on Hamilton Radio.
Visit PrimalGym.com. Primal Gym has the latest in gym equipment. Primal Gym has the experience in martial arts training, fighting, and workout, and more. Primal Gym is coming to Hamilton Township, New Jersey, Mercer County. Let Jim McCann know you heard this right here on HamiltonRadio.net. And for complete updates, keep tuned to HamiltonRadio.net and PrimalGym.com for the grand opening of Primal Gym in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, Mercer County, New Jersey. That's Primal Gym, PRIMALGYM.com. Again, PRIMALGYM.com. That's PrimalGym.com.
Hey, you're back with OnFire Show. This is Darryl McKell Brooks here with
Neil Schloss
and Deacon Clarence Haynes.
Deacon Clarence Haynes. If you want to give us a call and get on our chat room, give us a call at 609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003. And check us out on the chat room and go to HamiltonRadio.net. And, you know, one of the things is that New Year's, have you guys thought about your New Year's resolutions?
Resolutions?
Yes.
I try to be the same person I am the day before and the day after, as nice as I can be.
I don't make any.
Oh, I definitely, for me, it's like getting this to OnFire News Network and, wanted to be the top news site for New Jersey and, at least up there where people go for news in New Jersey. And radio show.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd like to be the top radio show.
Yo, top radio show.
There you go.
If you're listening and you like it, please spread the word. I mean,
definitely.
most important is to let people know to come listen.
Mm-hmm.
We do have that on-demand channel, so you can listen to some old shows and get an idea of what we talk about.
And on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you like what we talk about, great. And if it pisses you off of what we talk about, please join us and give us your comments, because you could be part of the discussion. You can call in, of course. What's the number there, Darryl?
609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003.
Yeah, loving the show. Guest 62224.
All right.
Coming in with that comment.
Oh, okay.
So.
Thank you for loving the show. One of the things is that, we try to talk about our different wide range of topics, and from education to jobs to some social issues, political issues, and we talk about family and relationships and friends, and we talk about all types of stuff, even chickens. and Neil talks about his chickens, and I like to barbecue these chickens.
I talk about chickens because I'm learning the process to kind of survive with getting 9 eggs in the morning, so I can make eggs all day. I've learned how to process the chicken, so I can have chicken if I wanted to. But of course, I don't want to kill all my chickens, because then I won't have anything.
Can we have a
eat.
show? Can you bring Chicken Man here?
Fred, I keep telling him, join in.
Can we kill a chicken here?
Can we kill a chicken here?
Why?
If we process it properly?
Process it properly. Why not?
I don't know. I'll ask Fred. We can lay down plastic here and do it in a way that people understand that this is what we're going to eat.
And then we can fry it here. We can fry it here.
And in Alaska,
we can do it in 1 hour.
Hey, in Alaska,
deep fry.
And you guys know, in Alaska, you have the right to kill any animal as long as it's so that you're going to consume it.
Yeah, I saw that on the Alaskan show.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
you got to eat it.
You got to eat it. Okay. So.
If you don't, you're going to jail. Isn't that something?
Yeah. We have a few people. We got Virginia listening in. We got Philly. Herb from Philly.
Herb.
Welcome to the show, Herb. If you are joining as a guest, of course, you can shout out who you are, where you're from. If you don't want to give us your name, just tell us where you're from, so that we can let people know that there are listeners from all over the country listening.
Oh, yeah. So one of my New Year's resolutions, I guess a few, is just to focus with OnFire News Network, and then, with the show, and also, focus on my what I'm going to do in 2015 in more spiritual life and spiritual growth. I think that's probably one of the most important things, getting to spiritual growth, faith, family, children. I think that a lot of people, really are turning into focusing on God now, as we see what type of country we have right now. And you have to. You got to get that spiritual, that inner strength that you need, that godly that spiritual strength that you need, because in these days, and we have a mad society.
Yeah, and again, I do see the spirituality and the belief in religion growing in everyone.
Yeah, because this world is, you have all these demons coming at you from the left, from the right, from the up and down, and front and back, and if you don't have that faith in you, anything could possibly happen.
You're definitely right. If you don't have faith, you don't have the ability to decide what voice or what voices that you're listening to. There are friendly spirits and there are evil spirits, and we have to know the difference between the two of them. And that's what the Bible gives us a chance to do, is you study to show yourself approved, so that you can rightly divide the word, that you know when things are there. They talk about angels in the Bible. Mm-hmm. They talk about Nephilim. They talk about giants. They talk about all these things. So none of these things should be any problem to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the voice I'm missing is Joe.
Oh, Joe.
I miss Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, I hope he's listening. Of course, Joe Ciano is part of our crew here.
Yes.
He took off last week and this week. I'm looking forward to him being back next week.
He's in Delaware, enjoying him and his wife, enjoying each other and having fun, and probably sitting back, glass of wine or something, and smoking a nice cigar. And
sure.
Smoke one for me, Joe.
Sure. And hey.
I remember.
Oh yeah,
we. Was the invite, right?
Yeah.
When?
When's the invite?
Oh, okay.
No, you invited me on. When do you want me to come on?
Oh, okay.
And what did you want me to talk about?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about skinning chickens.
We're gonna do. If you allow us to kill the chicken here, we'll do it as humane as possible. And actually, Fred will describe it all. We could take a vote. If the chat room says go for it, we'll do it.
Hey, there you go.
But we need your approval, because you own this property. This is your land.
And we have to videotape it.
Yeah, and I'll fry it. I'll fry it for you.
I don't have a problem with that. My biggest problem is who's around at the time. Like,
No, we put the tape. We'll cut the head off.
Well, I'll talk to Fred about it. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll make sure
chicken.
it's all ready to be processed.
Yeah.
So, we'll
nice
come back
13,
on this.
Nice,
We'll see.
Nice 13-pound chicken.
Yeah, So
yeah, I'll cut the head. I'll make sure I play a part, and we'll just cut the head off. You won't hear nothing.
I mean, actually, I got to tell you, so I told you guys about my processing experience. Fred has a different perspective on it because, of course, he's going to tell it from what he saw from a third-party perspective because he kind of laughs at me of how it happened and went down. So he'll give you the story on that, and then, of course, if it's allowed, we'll process the chicken. But if not, that's still fine. So. Fred cannot get in the chat room. What's up with that?
Wow.
We will check on that, Fred. I appreciate you listening in.
We want everybody else to check out the chat room and give us a call at 609-800-1003. That's 609-800-1003. Call us and tell us what's on your mind, and we can have a great discussion. It's about 9:48. And
my New Year's resolution.
Yeah, what's your New Year's resolution?
I told you it's live it just like I am every day. But at the same time, there's exciting stuff coming down the pike through my company. I have a payroll company that if anyone is looking for a payroll company, please email Deborah, Debora, at castlecpa.com. She can get you pricing. She can set you up. We try to price it very competitively. I mean, we always want to help you get value for value. Kevin in my office, he's a Juris Doctorate, passed the bar, just waiting for admittance. So he's doing some legal consulting, writing legal documents for people to help them defend themselves. We kind of give you lessons on how to defend yourself and kind of help draw up the legal paperwork for you to file, explain the whole process so that you do it on your own and you learn. Education is probably the most important thing, so I think 15 will be a big year to educate others. I think this radio show will be a good asset for people to ask questions about their legal problems, accounting problems, and we'll try to get people on here who have that knowledge to help you guide you in the right way.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because everybody needs that
15.
knowledge.
Definitely. I need that right now. I need that information.
Yeah. Kevin is just Kevin at castlecpa.com. Very simple. So if you have legal questions, I mean, he can help you answer and lead you in the right direction. So a lot of good things happening.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Over at my place.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, also you own the Magic Shop.
The Magic Shop. Yeah, we closed the store itself because the foot traffic is not happening. But we still do birthday parties. The magician that's been doing it, he's moving away, so we're, of course, hiring new magicians.
Okay.
So if you're a magician listening to the show, please send an email to Neil at castlecpa.com. You could tell me what type of shows you guys do, and then, of course, if we have birthday parties, we can book you to the birthday parties. And other than that, actually, John Galt Law. I acquired the website johngaltlaw.com. Not up and running, completely not developed, but the goal in that website is going to be giving people that are getting tickets, parking tickets, speeding tickets, any type of ticket, legal paperwork for you to use in the process, using the procedures we feel are the best procedures. So at this point, I'm doing all the testing. I picked up 3 parking tickets so far, one in Hightstown, which I think I talked to you about, and that got dismissed, no cost to me. Philadelphia, I'm doing a mailing in of the documents only, and we're going to see if I can get dismissed without even showing up. And then I just got one in Princeton today, which we did put money in the meter, but of course we were late by 10 minutes to getting back, so I got the ticket. So I'm going to fight that ticket, all based on legal procedure, see if I can beat that. And even though they can use this as testimony that I admitted that I was 10 minutes late to the meter, but and then I actually got a cell phone ticket by being on the phone hands-free. And the video I have of the cop told me I was hands-free. So I'm going to see and I'm not going to fight it based on being hands-free or not. I'm going to be basing on that. Does the government have rights over the people based on legal theories I'm coming up with? So we'll see if that works. We got a caller.
Yes, we got a caller. That's a wrong caller. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's, it says the IRS.
Does it?
Yes.
They're calling in?
The IRS is calling
listen,
in.
they could call in. I would talk to them. I
Yeah.
have no problem talking to the IRS. So,
Yeah,
is it the Secret Service calling?
Oh no! Well, we can't get protected. They
FBI,
can't,
CIA.
Yeah, they can't. They
What
barely,
letters? What letters are
They
calling?
barely protect the president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not barely. They don't.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things. We're on the show is on Fire News Network, and one of the things that we're going to be posting up new articles starting Monday. Sunday. What's today? What is today? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We got new
December
articles.
30th.
We got new articles coming out Friday. I was just sent about 10 new articles from around the country. And Lynn Washington, who writes from the Temple.
He was on our show.
Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah, he sent me 2 articles.
Okay, awesome.
Matter of fact, he's in Africa right now.
Very nice.
And he's talking about some of the things that are happening, political problems that are happening
Sure.
in Africa with some of the tribes, and how China is basically taking over parts of Africa, and the whole diamond thing and the whole diamond mines and what's really happening with the tribal warfare.
Wow.
He's over there right now, and he's been writing, and he sent me 2 articles.
Well, we'll have to get him back on when he's back.
Definitely. Matter of fact, when I was in Camden, I saw him going. He took the river line from Camden all the way.
Are you stalking him or something?
Yeah, we met in Camden. I said, that look like Lynn Washington. And he said, oh, Brother Darrell Brooks, this is how you doing? And so he left he took the river line from Camden, and then Camden to Philly. No, Camden to Trenton, and Trenton to Newark.
Right.
He got off in Newark. And so, it was one of the things he was telling me about, the tribal warfare is happening over there, and how China is basically taking over Africa. And it's you would think that we're in the 21st century, but still there's some places that are so corrupt in Africa.
Sure.
And there are people that because we have some in Africa, they have a few billionaires over there. I think one is a male and a female billionaire in Africa right now, and there's a few of them over there in Africa. So when you have that type of money, how still you see certain areas in Africa are poor. And that's one of the things they talk about, some of the tribal warfare. And as you know, in Africa, there's the Muslim, these Muslim radicals, they took, 200 young girls?
Right.
And married them off? So he's gonna write about that. He's over there in that area right now. So he's going to be talking about, writing about the radical Islamic radicals that are in Africa right now, and it's sad. It's sad what is happening in Africa and all around the world with the radical Islam.
Well, the chat room is exploding, but they're not exploding about the radical Islam. They're talking about. I think Fred joined the conversation because he's trying to explain what I did about my processing the chicken.
Well, oh wow!
But they said we got people on the chat room they're bringing they said turkey fryer, but of course it'll be a chicken fryer that night. Cooking it up. They of course were smart enough to say we're not going to cook in the building. We will go outside to put the chicken in the fryer.
Yeah.
So
I'll fry it and then I can barbecue it.
But yeah, no, it was the chicken I processed was a pretty large fowl. I mean, it's called the large fowl Buff Orpington cockerel, all right, which is a massive bird. I mean, how many
pounds?
Fred will tell me how much it weighed, but it was huge. And of course, he's going to tell you about the other rooster that attacked me while I was trying to process the chicken. So you'll hear a funny story, of course, when Fred comes on. So
okay, if he can get one of the big chickens, like a 13-pounder.
He'll have a 13-pounder. He'll have,
definitely we get to gut the chicken.
I mean, he loves his chickens.
I want to cut the head off.
Anyone that knows Fred knows Fred loves his chickens. Yes.
Yeah. Like Colonel Sanders.
You ready to Colonel Sanders? He's getting up there, man.
Colonel Sanders, he's the best one of the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, tell Fred he's getting to me.
Yeah.
My neighbors, I'm studying my neighbors' roosters, and now I can't determine which ones are the chickens and which ones are the roosters. He has about 30 of them. And every day I get up now, I used to never pay it any mind, but now when I get up, I think about, as soon as I hear him, I said, oh, There's Fred over there. You know? And I tried to take a picture of him, but I forgot to bring the picture to show you.
Oh, yeah, there's actually a burger named after him at the baseball field. Of course, it's a burger with an egg on top.
Oh, my God.
And, of course, they named it Fred's Burger. So everyone knows Fred in town. He's a great, great man. I mean, he's so giving, understanding, explaining stuff. I enjoy Fred. Yeah. So he actually let me borrow his wood
smoker?
Not the wood smoker. I was cutting my wood up. The splitter, wood splitter this weekend. So it definitely saves you a lot of time. Yeah. I was exhausted. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, well, it's about 9:57. We're going to go into a station break. This is the OnFire News Network, OnFire Show, and we're going into a station break. And we'll be right back. Give us a call at 609-800-1003. We'll be right back with OnFire Show.
You have a wood-burning stove?
Call Andrew Martino, Farmers Insurance, for all your insurance needs. Mr. Martino will give you the professionalism you expect from an experienced insurance agency. With Farmers Insurance, you will get the maximum coverage at competitive pricing. For a quick quote, contact Andrew Martino at 609-256-3364. 609-256-3364. Email Andrew at andrew.albright@farmersagency.com. That's ANDREW.ALBRIGHT@farmersagency.com. And Facebook, Andrew at Andrew Martino of Farmers. That's ANDREWMARTINO of Farmers. Mention this ad to Andrew to let him know you heard this right here on HamiltonRadio.net.
Having a slow night? Looking for a way to bring in more customers? Night Owl Poker has the solution for you. Night Owl Poker has free poker nights for your restaurant. Our games average 15 to 30 players a night and have the potential to grow even more. Other free poker game sites charge from $80 to $100 regardless of how many players show up. Our charges are so low it's hard to believe, but it's true. For more information, call 609-610-1000. NightOwlPoker.com. That's NITEOWL Poker.com. So, you want to get imaged? Well, cool. That's what we do. Whether you're smooth jazz, rock, or hip-hop, or just plain want the guy next door, then we got a deal for you. Whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? At JeffRadio.com, we provide quality, affordable voiceovers that rock.
Is there a juicy part in it for me?
All at a price that you can afford.
Can you believe him?
JeffRadio.com.
A very smart cookie.
Check out our demos today.
Feeling down, depressed, just don't feel like getting out of the house anymore? We'll do it anyway! Sounds like it's time. Ticketstime.com, that is. Ticketstime.com has tickets for sports, concerts, and theater just waiting for you to buy. Did your favorite concert sell out? We have tickets at Ticketstime.com. Did you miss your favorite team's last game? Don't miss the next one. Log on to Ticketstime.com. Is there a play you've been dying to see but haven't had the time? Well, make the time at Ticketstime.com. Everyone needs some relaxation time, so remember to make some time at Ticketstime.com.
Back with OnFire Show here with Darryl McKell Brooks and
Neil Schloss
and Deacon Clarence Haynes.
You know, one of the things that's definitely in the news is that the big problem that we've seen in New York City with the two cops were assassinated, and they were on the news today. And I guess it was on Meet the Press and a lot of the news shows on Sunday how the police force turned their back on the mayor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had the PBA. He's the commissioner or he's the head of the policeman association. And what he says is the death of these police officers are on hands. Their blood is on the hands of the mayor of New York City, which is, you can't blame the mayor,
right,
for a person there was something wrong with this guy, insane, and he went out and killed two cops, and also he blamed, there were people blaming Obama, for the death of these police officers, and they're blaming the protesters, they're blaming Al Sharpton, it's politics.
It's everyone grandstanding on making their opinions known.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like I say, most of this stuff these days, I'm just trying to enjoy my life around my kids and the family and take care of my chickens.
Yeah, but one of the things that, can you imagine your own police force? You're the mayor of New York City, a major, I think still the largest city in America, and your own police officers turning your back on you. I mean, that's sad.
Yeah, we'd like to know your opinion. If you want to call in, give us a call.
800-1003. I mean, when your own police officers turn your back on you, you're the head.
Right.
You're the head of the city.
Right.
You oversee the police officers. You oversee the commissioners. That's sad. And and to do that at a funeral. This is the second time they did that.
The second time they did it.
Yeah, they did it at a funeral. I mean, it's one of the things to talk about. It's embarrassing, and it's politics. But, one of the things that, we're coming into a society that's, we talked about earlier, is a more violent society. When you see younger kids, watching, playing these crazy video games and, they're being violent in school. I mean, there was 2 girls when they stabbed this one girl to death and somewhere in the Southwest, in the West Coast. I mean, and when you look at certain things, when you look at school shootings, when you look at kids and individual kids that are out there committing more violent crimes than ever before, what do? One of the things that I'm having January 10th at the First Presbyterian Church is nonviolence education. Dr. Bernard Lafayette. Dr. Bernard Lafayette was Martin Luther King's aide in the 60s, and he teaches nonviolence education all over the world. And and he's coming to the city of Trenton when you have the violence.
And how do you get a ticket to that event?
Well, you can just come to the event in Trenton. Just come to the event at First Presbyterian Church, January 10th.
So cross streets? What's the streets?
East State Street.
East State Street.
East State Street. That's right. 120 East State Street. And one of the things we're also doing also a fundraiser for Clifford Adams of Cool Gang. He's suffering from liver problems. He's trying to get a liver, and he just finally made. If you was listening to the show last week, his wife called in. And his wife said that, she was having problems at the Capitol Health Center. It used to be called not St. Francis, but Helen Full on Brunswick Avenue. Now they got all the paperwork done, all the, it's bureaucracy once again, with paperwork.
Right.
And basically they shipped him to Newark, where that's the hospital that his wife wanted to take him at before his care, and he's looking forward to a liver transplant. And if you know anything about this guy, he's a great musician out of Trenton, New Jersey. He joined Kool and the Gang. I think it was in the mid-'70s. Mid-'70s. Get Down.
I love Kool.
Robert Kool, huh? Yeah.
Cool Bell's a friend of mine.
Oh yeah, he's a friend. Get Down on It.
Nice.
Yeah. My favorite song, Cherish the Love. But cherish that love. One of the things that is what we're doing is that we're also doing a raffle, 50-50 raffle. And so, we're trying to just raise money for this individual who's a great talent, he's a great musician. And, it's about, helping each other. When his wife called me, a friend of mine, Doc Long, called me, and Doc Long is Nia Long's father, and Samore. Nia Long and Samore. Samore is probably one of the top comedians, female comedians in the country or in the world. And Nia Long, she's been in movies since she was, 16, 17 years old.
Right.
And she was in the movie. What was it? What was the movie she was in? She was in just movies. The Best Man. Yeah. If you've seen The Best Man 1 and 2, she was in there, and she's played major roles. She's played in what was the other movie with Martin Lawrence? What was that? What's the movie he played? He was dressed up as a big fat person. Mama's House. Mama's House.
1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2. So she was the wife of Martin Lawrence. So
that's who that is?
Yeah.
Because you had brought her up, and now I know who she is.
Yeah, and I was supposed to marry her, date her.
Well,
he never invited me. I was always been mad with Doc Long. I said, Doc, you got these fine daughters, and Nia Long is fine. And this was like in the early 90s. I'm like, okay.
You were a young kid then.
Yeah, can I come over and say hi? Something. Invite me for dinner, cocktail, or something.
You were rooster chasing after the hen.
Oh my God.
You were the rooster chasing
Yeah,
after the hen.
but he never did though. But we maintained. We always been friends, and so he called me over. He called me on the phone and said this is happening with, the brother from Coolney Gang, and and he talked to me on the phone. He talked to me over the phone. Then his wife called me, and then I had a long, great conversation with his wife, and basically, his wife told me what he needed. He needed a new kidney, and he was, he talked about he had no insurance because he was part of that gray area of insurance. When he makes too much to get to receive certain type of insurance. So, she said that Clifford is suffering real bad and he's getting weaker. So now he's in the hospital in Newark, where he's waiting for a liver transplant. So, we're raising money, and as a matter of fact, it was in the paper earlier this week. We're raising money for him, and it's about helping, Clifford Adams, a great musician. So if we want people to definitely come out for this event on January 10th, you get to meet Dr. Bernard Lafayette. He was Martin Luther King's aide. He's a personal friend of mine, and matter of fact, I just emailed him his tickets. So
nice.
Yeah, so I said, okay, this is our second time emailing the tickets.
Right.
Yeah, that cost like $350 some first one, and this one was around the same. So, but he's coming this time around.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's money lost.
That's all right. It's all good, man.
It's all good.
It's all good.
That's all good.
Life will pay you back in many different ways.
Yeah. So
you got Deacon here, so that's that's your $350.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're trying to promote peace, and it's about peace in our areas. I mean, we have so much violence in the cities and all the suburbs. I mean, whether they're black or white.
Yeah, but I also think supporting peace should be bringing all the troops home, like Dr. Paul talks about.
Yeah, bring them home.
I mean, the wars that are happening overseas, I don't know why we keep fighting it when.
Well, we're a police station.
Police state?
Yeah, we're a police state, and we're policing the world.
We're a military-industrial complex.
Definitely, and yeah.
And I mean, if you have to defend yourself at home, damn right, grab that gun you have, and defend your property. But again, if I kind of see all the stuff going on with the cops getting shot now, and it's sad to see all this stuff. I mean, most people will come out and say, take the guns away from everyone. Take the guns away from everyone. That's what we should do. I mean, everyone has the right to bear arms, 100%. I mean, no question about it. And it's like, but peace can still happen even if you are armed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very simple. If everyone understands to live their own life and live peacefully, I think we'll be in a better place.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely. And like I said, we're definitely trying to promote peace because it's about peace and unity. But we live in a society where, we're more violence than ever before. And we see violence in all other countries, the violence that we're pushing in other areas of the world. I mean, we're pushing another, violence all over the world. And when you talk about the military-industrial complex, you talk about with, who was it, Truman, in his last speech?
What did he say?
He talked about the government and how the government is the military. Well, no, Eisenhower.
Eisenhower said that.
It was Eisenhower.
Upon leaving office.
Yeah, and one of the things about Eisenhower, he built up the military tremendously.
Sure,
I mean. Then he finally, when he decides to leave, he says that's what we got to watch out for. That's what we got to watch out for. You're the one who built it up. I mean, it's like almost Bush talking about weapons of mass destruction. There are none, but there are some, but there are none.
Well, there's some great comments coming in. I don't know when we're going to a station break, but we'll try to touch on some of the topics in the chat room.
Yeah.
If you want to join the chat room, of course, go to hamiltonradio.net. Click on the chat room. Join us. Of course, the conversation's pretty fun in there, and hopefully it's going to grow over time, and we'll have lots and lots of people joining us. If you want to call in, what's the number here?
609-800-1003. Hey, Ruben just walked
Ruben. Hey, welcome, Ruben.
Ruben.
Nice. We had a small technical difficulty at first. Apparently, people knew that we were coming on, and they sent the Trojan horse in, right? So apparently there's some computer attacks happening, which is pretty interesting. So we had to reboot and get set. So without our warrior Ruben here,
So
I mean, maybe that was the reason. I mean, we might have to make sure Ruben's the man.
So it wasn't anonymous?
What's that?
It wasn't anonymous?
Anonymous?
Yeah, anonymous.
We don't know. We have no idea.
Have you heard of it?
But we do rebroadcast this stuff. It gets posted about 2 to 3 days after our show, so you can catch some of the older shows, some really good guests that we've had on. And, of course, like I said, January 6th, we're going to have a great guest, the producer of the movie Atlas Shrugged, Harmon Kaslow. And then January 13th, we have Frank Mara from Millstone Township, New Jersey, wrote a book called From Landfill to Hallowed Ground. Great book. I just read it. Easy reading, very emotional. But looking forward to having him on.
You know, I like these things that Deacon Clarence hangs. What are these pop-ums?
Yeah, we actually, guest says, kill the Trojan horse with the chicken in the parking lot, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. We're trying to get permission to kill a chicken as most humane processing way. So we will see if the owners of the show allow us.
Kill a chicken and I'll fry it. I mean, you know, Ruben, what do you like fried chicken, right? You're vegetarian. Oh, vegan.
Yeah.
You're almost vegan?
Yeah.
You're a Seventh-day Adventist? See, I told you. The Seventh-day Adventist, that's all they do. They don't eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm a Baptist.
So you have to be a vegetarian to be a Seventh-day Adventist?
If you believe in the...
But they conspiracy people, too.
It seems like everyone's conspiracy
theory, right? Don't they preach that in your church, conspiracies? End of the world and be ready and, you know, build your... Revelation, build an underground road, you know, something to protect yourself, go underground or build on top of the road.
Are we going to commercial break soon or what? You ready for it?
Yeah, we're about to go on a station break and we're going to interview about 70 Adventists and conspiracy theories. Yeah. I'll be right back. This is OnFire Show.
Whether you're challenged with dry, brittle, flaky skin, oily skin, or your skin is simply dull and lifeless, I've got a great skincare line for you. It's called Tazati, T-A-Z-A-T-I. At Tazati.com, you can order products online that are so pure and natural, your skin will come alive with radiance and vitality. You see, Tazati organic skincare products use deep, hydrating moisturizers with natural elements like aloe vera, olive squalene, and shea butter, rich and proven to replenish your skin, yet never greasy. Also, if you suffer from adolescent or menopause acne, you can shop online for Tazati's gentle two-step cleanser, which heals acne by balancing your pH, ultimately putting a stop to skin eruptions for a clean, clear complexion. And the popular Vanishing Elite product can be applied to your face and neck to help combat dark spots for a smooth, even complexion. Place your order today and see what a few of the many satisfied Tazati customers are saying. Go to Tazati.com.
If you want whole foods and more natural products while making your family healthier, visit 2285475.myforevergreen.org. That's 2285475.myforevergreen.org. Do it today.
Listen to the 60s.
Great music. I love it.
The 70s.
A good, wholesome station for everyone to listen to.
The 80s.
A lot less talk and a lot more music.
The 90s.
This is going to be a good day.
And hits from today's artists.
Great music. I love it.
You can't get a better station than this.
Here on Hamilton Radio.
So, you want to get imaged? Well, cool. That's what we do. Whether you're smooth jazz, rock, or just plain want the guy next door, then we got a deal for you.
Whatever you need, you know what I'm saying?
At JeffRadio.com, we provide quality, affordable voiceovers that rock.
Is there a juicy part in it for me?
All at a price that you can afford.
Can you believe him?
JeffRadio.com.
A very smart cookie.
Hey, we're back with OnFire Show. We thank all our listeners for listening and all our individuals that are on the chat line. And check us out at 609-800-1003. And I'm here with Neil, and I'm here with Deacon Clarence Haynes. And we're we got about, 14 minutes before the show is over?
I think so, man.
14 minutes. We
may
may have a listener in, what state is that? We have a listener, I think we definitely have a listener in Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Yes, Kentucky.
Wow.
Kentucky Road, he's going down, down, down. Run. Who sang that song? In the blue. Who sung that song? Kentucky Road. He's going down.
We're gonna,
Kentucky Road.
if you keep singing, we're gonna lose people from the
Is it
show.
Kentucky
Come on.
Road or Kentucky Rain?
Kentucky
Rain.
Kentucky Rain.
No, I made it up. It's a Kentucky Rain.
Well, we do have questions from the chat room, so I want to ask you guys these questions. So,
I know
some simple questions, or what has? It was talking about the mayor and mayor of New York City, because we were talking about it before. Yeah, he said, what has he done to support the officers?
Well, I don't live in New York City. So, but I know that he only won about 13%. He won 13% of the vote, and is kind of the strangest things with Barbara Gonzalez was on the show.
13% of the vote he won with?
Yeah. 13% of the vote.
13% of the vote and he wins.
Yeah.
13% of the total voters.
Yes.
And, I mean, it's like he's winning a minority. It's like it really means government means nothing. If only 13 people are out there voting, 13% of the people voting for him, I mean.
And one of the things is that Barbara Gonzalez was on a radio show, and, as you know, de Blasio she views him as a leftist, because one of the things is that, his policies, and he wasn't supposed to be mayor. That's one of the things. He was one of them long shots. And
he won.
And he won.
Right.
All the scandals,
Right.
So
the only time I like a long shot is in horse racing, when you vote, you bet on him, and you win, because it's a good payoff.
Yeah.
But
Good payoff.
not a mayor,
and
of course.
De Blasio is white. His wife is African American, and his son is biracial with the afro.
Right. Right.
And so I think Barbara called the show and said his wife was she was a lesbian.
Really?
Yeah, she said she was what's the
Barbara threw that out?
Yeah, Barbara threw that out. She said she was de Blasio's wife was a. All right, what is the thing that man and a woman, you want to share or whatever?
A swinger.
Swinger. Now,
a swinger?
It's not a swinger. A swap. No, it's not a swapper. It's a lesbian, but it's something different than lesbian.
I have no idea.
Else.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When you go both ways.
Bisexual.
Bisexual, yeah.
Bisexual.
His wife was bisexual.
I mean, does she have proof of that?
No, I mean, she just threw it out there.
Does she threw that out there?
She threw that out there. I was like, wow, Barbara, I mean, you got some proof? I mean, and that's... Oh wow! And so, so that's one of the things of, that's what she said, and she said that de Blasio, and one of the things that de Blasio, when he talked about the protesters, he welcomed the protesters to come to his city.
Right.
And he said he also said there was some cops out there that, we have some problems in our police force. Which, New York City has always had those type of issues.
I mean, maybe he's trying to shine a light on that. A police state is not what we want. We want police that actually obey the Constitution, understand their oath, and enforce the law based on the oath of office, not based on these other methods. Like I said, the cell phone to me it's a rule of man, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. The rule of law is if I'm traveling from one place to another and I didn't harm anyone on my way, from point A to point B, then I mean, what infraction what law am I breaking?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the questions I have.
Yeah, and one of the things you talk about that those laws. You look at Shanine Allen, and she basically won her case when she was driving she was in Pennsylvania, and she had a gun in her. Yeah, she had a gun in her trunk, and she made a mistake, a wrong turn, and came in New Jersey, and she stopped, and they arrested her, and she told them that I have a gun in I'm licensed to carry that
right.
gun. And in Pennsylvania, I mean, I think she said she made a wrong turn or something happened, and the cop said, well, you shouldn't have told me that, now I have to arrest you. Now, when you deal with certain things like that, cases like that, I mean, come on. Some of the laws are kind of goofy.
I mean, it's again, if you don't know how to defend yourself, I think you just pay that price to the courtroom when the judge is like $40 plus court fees. Go pay at the register, man. Cha-ching. Right?
Yeah, it's all interested is in the money. You got any more questions?
Yeah, there was. So how do you guys feel if we did not police the world? Like, what do you think would happen if America decided to just bring their troops home, stop policing the world, and what do you think would happen?
Watch CNN.
What's that?
CNN. CNN is the what is it? The news station of the world. Everything is happening on CNN. around the world.
I mean,
Breaking news.
the question becomes, what do you think would happen if we just brought our troops home?
But you never know. You never know. You know, one of the things that
You think peace would happen?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, when you look at the issues of the radical Islamic countries, and you look what's going on in ISIS, I mean, you look what's these things are happening, and you know, when they're cutting off people's heads, they blowing up schools, they blowing up synagogues and churches, Christian churches.
Well, they did that here.
Yeah. They did that here, right?
Yeah, but
it's locally. We should be concerned, like you were saying, locally. We have issues here in America that need to be taken care of.
Oh yeah, we definitely
have
issues.
Things that we're trying to preserve the rights of other people, and the people here don't have their rights protected. So you know.
Oh yeah, we're promoting democracy around the world.
But we're not a democracy.
And we're not right.
No, we're not even a democracy. I keep saying we were a republic.
Yeah, republic.
Right.
You know, who's the Darth Vader?
Who's Darth Vader?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm Han Solo.
You're Han Solo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Han Solo, he's the man.
He's the man.
Yeah, I don't know which character I'd fall under.
Huh?
I mean, I've watched it enough, but I haven't put myself into
he's not Chewbacca.
Me? What would you say I am,
Who would I say you
Daryl?
are?
Who would you say I am from Star Wars?
Who would I say you are?
Yeah.
I guess you would use a Samuel. You're a Jedi Knight.
I'm a Jedi Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. No, it's just funny because, of course, I mean, with the movie The Matrix, of course, my name being Neo, people think I'm Neo.
Neo. Okay.
So I get called Neo once in a while because I'm going to break.
Is there a Jewish? No, I mean honestly, you know, I don't want.
Is there a Jewish what?
Is,
Let's hear this one.
No. Is there a Jewish Jedi? You could be a Jewish
the
Jedi.
Jewish Jedi. That would be pretty cool. I'll go with that.
JJ.
Yeah. Like JJ Walker from like.
You be the Jewish Jedi.
Yeah.
Say Josephus.
Yeah. And Mazel tov to everyone. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, for you guys, you got to do a little research for next week, of course, because I'm so excited about this guy coming on, the producer. If you can somehow watch the movies, I don't know if they're still on Netflix or a show where you can get it or even pick it up, but watch Atlas Shrugged, and all you guys, even you guys. I want you guys to come up with which character you would be from the movie Atlas Shrugged. Yeah, Atlas Shrugged. It's. I mean, again, it's a book written by Ayn Rand back in the 50s. She escaped Russia, understood what the Communist Party does and what it meant to how it controls people, and she promotes the idea of freedom and individualism. And I mean, it changed my world back when I was 20 because I read the book. I was turned on to it by my cousin Glenn. He said, "Dude, this what?
Glenn who?
Glenn Schloss."
Oh, Glenn Schloss.
Yeah. So he turned me onto it, and of course changed my life. And of course I lived forward to now I'm in my 40s, and the movie came out. So to see a movie like from the vision of someone that also read it, what it meant to him. So I'm looking forward to finding out stuff like that from him.
Plus that Jewish Jedi thing, man.
The Jewish Jedi? Maybe I'll change that.
Really,
that'll be my character on the show. The Jewish Jedi?
Oh,
yeah. I think Yoda ate kosher. So
yeah.
Kosher's I'm not kosher. When it comes I'm not kosher when it comes to like the philosophy of in the Jewish religion.
So you don't believe in Judaism?
The kosher part? I don't. I just think that's
He's a Jewish Jedi.
I don't know.
He is a Jewish
Reform.
Jedi.
The Reform Jews. I don't know if they keep kosher houses. I think conservative or Orthodox do. Orthodox do.
You can dress up in a white
Conservatives might not. Reforms don't.
What do you think about a Messianic Jew?
A Messianic Jew?
Right.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, that's a Christian Jew.
A Christian Jew.
Okay.
Right. So what do you?
But what? I mean, what's? How do they tie the two together?
Well, that's why I was asking you.
Oh,
he's a Jewish Jedi.
I jokingly say I'm a born again Jew.
Okay.
Because with my kids going back to school, with my kids going back to Hebrew school or choosing to go to Hebrew school, I'm kind of learning the religion again.
Okay.
So, trust me, I don't know much about it. So there's my wife who's
be the Jewish Jedi.
Who's Christian.
Dress you up in a white sheet.
She's teaching me more than I know. So
okay, well,
it's pretty funny.
You dress Neil up in a white sheet.
Yeah.
George Jedi with a laser killing chickens. That'll be a vote.
You're saying I should show up here in a white
a white sheet.
A white sheet.
It won't be like the Klan.
Oh,
But,
okay.
you dressed up like Jewish Jedi.
Yeah.
And cleaning. I'm for real. You can get you a laser.
Yeah.
What are those things? What are those things that they use?
What are those called? Not the swords. What
is those swords that they
beam,
use? The
lightsabers. Yeah, lightsabers.
You have a Jewish Jedi with a lightsaber.
This show is going way off course, boys. Listen, we got to bring this show.
What kind of news is this?
Yeah, what kind of news network is this? Or
That'll be a
OnFire?
great show.
Seriously?
OnFire News Network presents the Jewish Jedi with his lightsaber. Oh!
All right, let's get back on track.
That would be funny. But I'm just joking though. But it would be cool though.
Well, like I said, I'm just excited about the guests coming on in the future. If anyone listening will knows of someone that would be a great guest, please let us know. I mean, we're always interested in having someone come on. This, of course, being the December 30th show, we decided just to chat it up for 2 hours, not have a special guest on. So, but we're looking forward to 2015, man. What's the song?
Jewish Jedi song, Killing Chicken. Here is something I can't understand. How can this kill a chicken, man?
Is that your rap?
Here is something I can't understand. I gotta kill this chicken, man.
So as you can see, we have a lot in store for 15, man.
Oh my God!
Let's bring it in. But like I said, if you know a great guest, please let us know. I mean, I love trying to reach out to these people and get them to be on our show. Hopefully, actually in 2015, I'm going to try to get some more liberty-minded friends of mine. Jordan Page, I'm hoping to get on the show. Mm-hmm. I just did his show tonight on his radio station, which was awesome. Actually, it's a Liberty channel. I'll tell you in 1 second. So if I'll get you that information in 1 second. Mm-hmm. So.
But we got about 2 minutes to go. We'd like to thank everybody for listening to our show. This has been definitely a successful 2014, and we're hopefully, and I know that 2015 will be even more successful for the OnFire show, OnFire News Network, and HamiltonRadio.net. And I'd like to say thank everybody, and thank Joe and yourself, Neil, and Deacon Clancy for coming on, and the individuals. We also, haven't heard from the other two guys, but they're.
PJ, I'll try to get him to call in, man.
Oh, wow.
I'll reach out to PJ and get him to call in. So
see, that was the last thing he does. I look at the owner. He's looking at, yeah, right, whatever. Yeah. So, well, who's the other guy? I can't. Yeah, he
who's that?
Who's that? No, what's the name is not here. He's been gone. He's been working a lot.
Who?
No, not Joe. My other friend. Bill.
Bill. Oh.
Bill. Chill Bill.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll come on. I mean,
say hi, once in a while. I mean,
it was
Bill.
the LibertyMovementRadio.com
Okay.
I was on. It was cool. It was an hour chat with Jordan.
All right.
Who I met through the movement. He performed actually in Jersey I think beginning of the year. And we're trying to get him back to Jersey. So if you're interested in having Jordan Page come, email Deborah, Debora, at Castle CPA. Okay. Let us know you're interested, and we'd love to have him come to Jersey.
And we want everybody to know is go to the OnFire News Network and like us on your OnFire News Network, like us on your Facebook. Also, go to the YouTube channel on OnFire News Network, and you can check out some of our we have about 6 shows. Joe did a great job about time. He was frustrated.
Yeah, they're the older shows.
Yeah,
and
the
actually,
older shows.
You can, if you do have YouTube on any of your smart TVs, you can look up the OnFire NN, and you'll see the shows.
Yeah.
And you can listen to them through the YouTube channel.
Well, we'd like to thank everybody for having being a part of this great, successful year, and we look forward to next year. And it's been great. It's been awesome. And we just pray that people are safe and take care of themselves and their family, and be safe and prosper.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you all, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We'll see you next year. And same time, same channel, and with the Jewish Jedi. It'll be the
Jewish Jedi. That's my new thing.
That's the Jewish
Jedi. No. Next week, I'm John Galt.
Yeah, you're John Galt.
John Galt for the show.
I'm telling you, man, that could be a market.
Atlas Shrugged, man.
You can have a doll.
The Jewish Jedi?
The Jewish.
We could see. We will. If anyone is listening that can design stuff, show us some designs, and we'll see if we like it.
You can have them saying, "If I rule the world."
Yeah, I can see my kids being, "Hey, Jewish Jedi, what's going on?"
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, the Judite Night.
The Judite Night. Nice.
Think tank.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually want to thank Hamilton Radio, man. The guys here, the owners are great guys. They're looking to grow. They're putting on some great talk shows. Monday, there's a show called Fully Baked, which runs at 1 o'clock.
Yep.
All right. Saturday nights, there's a Jim McCant, No Holds Bar. What other talk shows are there that people can listen to?
Deacon Clarence Haynes.
Deacon Clarence coming in with the show. What day, Deacon?
Sunday, 6:30 to 7:30.
And what's discussed?
Man of the house.
Sunday morning.
Talking about men to be men.
Men to be
Whoa.
What is your responsibility?
Yeah, what is your responsibility to be a man in your house?
There you go.
That's right.
I got to turn that on and listen.
Yes, sir.
Catch the Holy Ghost.
Catch the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, like I said.
Well, there are definitely some great shows. The radio station, Hamilton Radio, also plays some great music. You can actually plug it in to your stereo system, run it through stream licensing. If you actually have an iPhone, you could download the app Stream Licensing and look up Hamilton Radio. It'll pull up Hamilton Radio 1, 2, and I think 3 is listed twice. So one works, one does not, just so you know. And what's that? Oh, the website might be changing. So 2015 looks like a new, very exciting time for all of us here.
Yes, and like to say, thank all our listeners, and thanks for going into the chat room, and God bless, and we're out of here. We'll catch you next Tuesday, and this is the OnFire Show with the OnFire News Network and HamiltonRadio.net. God bless, and we're out of here.